All right, so feels like we're drowning in new regs, huh?
Yeah, it's a lot. It's like every agency's got something new cooking.
From ag to housing, it's tough to keep up.
Oh, absolutely. It really is.
So that's what we're doing here, breaking it down.
Yeah.
Seeing what's changing,
Right, making sense of it all.
what it means for you and me and everybody.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
So let's jump in. Let's start with APHIS, the Animal and Plant Health Inspection Service.
Okay, so they've got this new reg about payments for avian influenza. Highly pathogenic avian influenza, to be exact.
Right. So this is about what? Protecting poultry farmers.
Yeah, when there are outbreaks like avian flu hits, making sure they're covered.
Yeah.
But here's the thing.
Okay.
To get those payments, they got to pass a biosecurity audit. It's all about raising the bar on safety.
So if a farmer's not, doing things by the book, they could be out of luck if their birds get sick.
Yeah, pretty much. Think about it. Virtual inspections, in-person inspections, checking everything, how they're housing the birds, worker hygiene, the whole 9 yards.
Oh, wow. Sounds pretty intense.
It is. It's got to be thorough.
Yeah. 6 months these audits are good for.
Right. Sets a clear framework, for prevention.
So it's like a health checklist.
Yeah.
But for chickens, right?
Exactly. Proactive, not just reacting after the fact.
Gotcha. Okay, let's shift gears. Something a little closer to home, maybe student loans.
Oh.
The Department of Education, they've got this mouthful of a regulation.
Oh, yeah. Improving income-driven repayment, something.
It's the William D. Ford Federal Direct Loan Program and the Federal Family Education Loan Program.
Yeah, that way.
Correction.
There
we go. Loan forgiveness. Right?
Loan forgiveness, exactly. Yeah. This is about clarifying which deferment periods count towards that forgiveness, especially the ones starting after July 1st, 2024.
Okay, so after July 2024, that's when things get a little...
It gets tricky.
Tricky, yeah. You still got to make payments, even if there's $0.
Right. It's not just a free pass.
There's hoops,
Hoops to jump through, definitely. Important for folks with in-school deferments, forbearances, all that.
Got it. Okay, moving on. Department of Health and Human Services, HHS, they're changing the name of something?
Oh, the Office of Child Support Enforcement?
Right.
It's going to be the Office of Child Support Services now.
Okay, so is this just like a name change? Or is there something more to it?
It's more than just a name, actually. Signals a shift in focus,
Okay.
Moving away from just enforcement to something more holistic, more family-centered.
So less about, cracking down and more about support.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, interesting. So what does that look like practically?
Well, it affects how tribal programs apply for funding, how they report their activities, plus just clarifies procedures in general, making it smoother for everybody.
Okay. All right, that makes sense. Let's talk chemicals now.
Ooh, getting serious.
The EPA, the Environmental Protection Agency, right?
Mm-hmm.
They've got this reg about identifying manufacturers who got to pay for risk evaluations.
Right, for potentially hazardous chemicals.
Yeah, the scary stuff. So the EPA's got a list.
They do, 5 high-priority chemicals.
And if you're making one of those...
You got to report how much you're producing.
And I imagine there's a fee attached to all of this.
There is. Risk evaluations, they ain't free.
Right. So basically the EPA is saying, hey, if you're making this stuff, you got to help pay to make sure it's safe.
Exactly. Share the cost of safety.
Okay. Now, what if I'm like a small business owner?
Yeah.
And I use one of these chemicals in my product?
Good question.
Does this apply to me?
It might. There's specific exemptions laid out in the regulations, so got to check the details.
Right. Transparency, accountability. That's the goal.
That's the idea.
Okay. Let's zoom in on Alaska for a second.
Right.
The FCC, the Federal Communications Commission, they got a new reg about improving broadband access there.
Oh, yeah. Crucial stuff.
Because you need, internet's it's a necessity these days.
It is, not a luxury anymore.
Right. And this Alaska Connect Fund,
mm-hmm.
it aims to bridge that digital divide, right?
Exactly. Even the most remote communities, they need access.
So are we talking like dial-up speeds here? Or is this the real deal?
Real deal. Real-time applications, video calls, online learning, all of it.
Wow, that's great.
And they've got performance requirements, cybersecurity requirements, the whole shebang.
Okay, so it's not going to happen overnight.
No, it's phased.
But it's a step in the right direction.
Big step.
Yeah. All right. For our logistics folks out there,
okay.
The Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration, FMCSA, they've got a reg about financial stability for brokers and freight forwarders.
Keeping things running smoothly.
So basically, you don't want to trust your goods to a company that's, about to go belly up.
Right. That's the idea. So they got to maintain at least $75,000 in liquid assets.
It's like insurance for the whole industry.
Exactly. Make sure they can actually do what they say they're going to do.
And there's a new online registration system too, right?
There is, but some deadlines got pushed to January 16th, 2026.
All right, a little more time to get things in order.
A little breathing room.
Okay. Let's talk food labels now.
Everyone's favorite.
Right. The FDA, the Food and Drug Administration, they're trying to simplify things.
Yeah, food labels can be confusing, even for us sometimes.
Oh, absolutely. It's like a secret code.
Right. So they're trying to make it clear. For consumers, for the industry.
Okay, so are we getting like new requirements, new labels? What's going on?
Not new requirements, just streamlining. Consistent compliance dates for different regulations.
Ah, so giving companies more time.
More time to adjust, reduces costs, makes it easier.
That
Exactly. Smoother transition for everyone.
Okay. Affordable housing now. That's a big one.
Huge.
The U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development, HUD, they're implementing parts of the Housing Opportunity through Modernization Act.
HOTMA for short.
HOTMA, right. And this gets into how income is calculated for different HUD programs.
Yeah, they're introducing safe harbor provisions.
Safe harbor. What does that even mean?
Basically, more flexibility in how income is assessed. Helpful for households with, like, fluctuating incomes or income from different sources.
Okay, so it's acknowledging that people's situations aren't always, black and white.
Exactly.
There's nuances there.
Right, and they're phasing in the deadlines, too, because implementing these changes, it takes time.
Makes sense. All right, last but not least, the U.S. Postal Service.
Snail mail.
They've got some labeling list updates.
Behind-the-scenes stuff.
Yeah. So what's changing? Like, are we going to have to relearn how to address envelopes?
No, nothing like that. But there's going to be a shape-based labeling system.
Okay.
Affects how mail's categorized and priced. And they're updating sorting methods, new identifiers for pallets, all that.
So it's all about making sure your mail gets where it needs to go.
As efficiently as possible, yeah. A lot of tweaks behind the scenes.
Well, I think we've given our listeners a lot to think about today.
I hope so. It's been fun diving into all this with you.
Yeah, it has. And for our listeners, if you want to, really dig into these regs, all the details.
Get the nitty-gritty.
Visit www.topiclake.com to stay up to date.